All right, let's get to it.
All right, good morning, everyone. This is, well, I guess we'll call it step 6 in our chest of drawers, our CNC chest of drawers project. We now have all of the inside pieces and surfaces pre-sanded, pre-stained, everything is good to go. Just inside surfaces, and then of course the drawer dividers, they're all in here. I've dry fit this. This is what it is going to look like. I'm happy with the fit. So we're going to knock this thing apart and we're going to glue it up. Now, one thing I just want to point out, and you may discover this is the same on yours too, is these drawer dividers that I have are actually, they have a fair bit of play. I may have screwed up a little bit and made these drawer dividers slightly short. They're going to be fine. However, what we're going to do is make a little paper. We're going to fold up some paper, and I'm going to show you how to do that. We're going to put a little spacer, make a little spacer on each side to keep the panel centered. That way it doesn't risk falling out of the dado on either side after it's glued up. Okay, so we're gonna do that. Let's tear this thing apart. Okay, there we go. So we have our chest all broken down, our case all broken down, ready to go. Before you put any glue on anything, make sure that you guys have everything that you could possibly need all ready to go. So I have all my clamps. We're going to be using primarily these F-bar clamps. I find the pipe clamps work really good for panel glue up and prep. The F-bar clamps work really good for case glue up and prep. So we're going to use those. And I have all of them ready here for me to use. I got my glue, I got my mallet, I have my square, super important. And we're going to start spreading glue. Now this next part's a little bit tricky because we're going to have to hold all of these pieces in here at the same time while everything glues up. So I found the best way to do this is to preload all of these pieces with the side down. We're going to pop this guy on. So now I'm not actually going to glue the center top drawer divider in. I'm just going to leave it sit in there. We're going to address that later. Let's get some clamps on here. All right. So We got clamps on the whole thing. This is where I want to just go in and tune up any bit of spilled glue. Now you'll notice that this riser here, this still floats. We want to leave that. We're going to end up putting some super glue in there and letting it bleed through to hold that in place at a later time. Okay, so make sure these are all pulled out right to the front. Make sure this thing is square. If it's not, the drawers are not going to fit. Now look at this. This is perfect. It's, well, it's not perfect. It's not square. So you guys can see how this square is actually rocking this way. And if we do it the other way, it rocks the opposite way. So that tells me that this corner is longer than that corner. So I need to put a cross clamp on here, the corner. I'm going to leave it stood off a little bit. I'm not going to have to clamp it that much, just enough to get this thing square. Okay. Check the bottom. Okay, there you go. You guys can see how stressful a glue up can be. Look how many clamps I got on this thing. We have like 8 clamps pulling in all the corners, and we also have 2 corner clamps that are pulling this thing into square. But it was time well spent because all the joints have come up tight in the fingers and they're square, so my drawers are going to go in and out. Let this thing sit for the rest of the class. Let it sit for an hour at least before you pull it out of clamps. And do it with a friend. You guys saw how crazy this can get. Make sure you're prepared. You got everything ready to go before you put the first drop of glue on your project. Okay? That's the glue pin assembly for the case. That's it.